found out I was going to be a father probably about 7.5, 8 years ago.
10 years ago.
Just 16.
I was happy. I was excited. Maybe a little unprepared, but I was excited.
Wow, I couldn't believe it.
It was a moment of silence. Definitely was a moment of silence. I just was like, wow. This is a new chapter in my life where the world is going.
Baltimore's Center for Urban Families is a force for transformation and hope, especially for Black fathers. The center helps restore stability through job placement, education, and training.
In the United States, we have approximately 25 million children who live in households where fathers aren't present. And you drill that down to what happens in urban communities with Black men and boys. It is astounding the number of men who come into our program who are fathers who tell us, I do not have a relationship with my own dad. And now he's expected to be a parent and do a halfway decent job without no model of how that takes place.
For 13 years, CFUF has worked to help fathers understand the importance of parenting skills, financial support, and active engagement. The program utilizes a 4-month cohort model where caring staff and growing fathers support one another.
When I first came to the center, I thought fatherhood was about mainly just child support issues, fathers that were struggling, maybe taking care of their children, or just being responsible, period.
We actually do a diaper changing contest. And this diaper changing contest is where we have guys pitted against one another with safety pins, simulated poop, and it's time. Those kind of activities require us to get the guy to understand that he does have the power to be able to do those things.
And I learned in the fatherhood program, it's not just about fathering your own children, but it's about basically being a father to, the children that's in your community as well.
CFUF utilizes the STRIVE workforce development model, providing job placement for hard-to-reach populations, including men who are formerly incarcerated, chronically unemployed, and systematically underemployed.
Right, it's really getting them to understand how to approach this code switching, how to approach changing into dress clothes, and being able to use the tie as a tool to engage employers. And we have employers who will give testimonials to their peers to get them to engage and hire some of our folks, right? So it's that kind of structure, discipline, and model that has allowed us to, do what we do and to have people believing that if they walk in this door, they're going to get a chance at life.
Lastly, CFUF provides a range of wraparound client services. Based on sustained relationships with program staff, this intensive case management approach removes relational and professional barriers to economic vitality.
The first day when I walked in here, I was incarcerated. And I really did not want to be here because I thought I was going to be judged.
When I first came to the Center for Urban Families, I had an arrogant, egotistical attitude that was quickly checked at the door.
When you're sitting in prison, you get a lot of time to think about some things. And I already knew and had my mind made up that when I came home, I was going to do everything different than what I was doing before I went in. And one of the main things was being more involved in my children's life.
So I don't care if the guy comes in, he's 6'8", 260 pounds, built like Ray Lewis, and he feels as though he can control the environment. We just absorb it, right? And we began to get him to understand that this is a safe place for him to be, but it's also a place that he has to respect, and that he will always be respected. Right? And we will never diminish ourselves to the behavior of anybody that comes into it. We will ask them to change and structure and challenge them to take their attitude, their behavior to the next level.
It's been very helpful graduating from the program and now being on the staff here at the Center for Urban Families. And a lot of times when I do talk to them, they think, I graduated from Harvard somewhere. But, when I tell them, look, I just came home from prison 3 years ago and I went through every program in here. It's like, well, I can do this too. So
And then it's really putting an arm around these guys so that they feel like they are really wanted and, to an extent that they're loved. I think sometimes it's difficult for us to think about using the word love in the context of adult men, but that is just very disarming.
Now, these folks that were unemployed and underemployed, now they leave here with a sense that, like, I contribute to society. I think that they understand that they could be more, and when you understand that you could be more, you want more.
Each year, hundreds of fathers look to the Center for Parenting Guidance. Since 1999, CFUF has facilitated nearly 3,000 job placements for men and women.
The Center for Urban Families has completely revamped and produced a brand new citizen.
My overall, dream and desire and being able to convince others that this can happen is for each individual guy who comes through here to take his rightful place in the life of his child and not to have it be inconsistent, and to fight through all the fears and frustrations that come along with being a black man in this country, with being a dad, and being able to do the right thing. And we will be there to support him. And then globally, to get people around the country, including our policymakers, our business leaders, our neighborhood association leaders, to see that if we create systems, structures, and spaces in our communities for young men to do the right thing, they can rise to the challenge and be able to do it. But they can't do it if we don't create intentional space. That formula, I think, is really achievable, and I think that it's something that's sustainable and we can export it to other places around the country.